Gold fever, they called it. The search for gold in North Carolina's creeks and underground mines almost half a century before the discovery of gold in California. It was America's first gold rush and brought prospectors, miners, and speculators to the Old North State in pursuit of fortune and fame. A few struck it rich. Many found only disappointment. But one German immigrant named Christopher Beckler turned North Carolina's gold rush into a successful family business, the minting of coins, including America's first gold dollar. It's a little-known nugget of American history: gold fever and the Beckler Mint. The discovery of gold. It can draw people from all over the world in search of riches and wealth, creating a gold rush that can change a place forever.
If you say the words gold rush, I think most people instinctively think of California and the discovery of gold there in the 1840s. But in reality, the nation's first and longest gold rush happened here in North Carolina and began 50 years earlier. And from that, what happened was just this absolute tumult of change, of changing the landscape, changing the people, and bringing in a whole new era of history.
The first documented gold find was in Little Meadow Creek in Cabarrus County, North Carolina, in 1799.
Now, the story goes that Conrad Reed, who was 12 years old at the time, and a couple of his brothers and sisters were playing in the creek. They were hunting for fish with a bow and arrow, and they found a very heavy rock that was said to be shining in the water. They pulled this heavy rock out, and it weighed about 17 pounds, so they took it home. No one knew what it was, but it made a very convenient doorstop. As it turned out, it was probably the most valuable doorstop in American history.
A few years later, Conrad's father, John Reed, made a marketing trip to Fayetteville where he showed the rock to a jeweler.
The jeweler recognized it and said it was gold, and he asked John Reed what John would take for it. Old John thought about it for a few minutes, and at that point, if you were a worker on a farm, 50 cents a day might be a pretty decent going wage. So he asked for a week's wages, $3.50. And that's what the jeweler paid him.
In fact, that 17-pound piece of gold may have been worth 1,000 times that amount, more than $3,500.
In the summer of 1803, John Reed started looking for other heavy rocks in the creek when he realized he had a nice salable commodity.
Reed took 3 men into partnership, and together they established the Reed Gold Mine.
John Reed's mine was special because of the large number of big nuggets that were found at the mine. In 1803, for example, in the first mining season, an African-American slave named Peter found a 28-pound nugget.
That was the beginning of the real gold rush in North Carolina. Was everybody started looking for gold in their backyards and in their creeks. They even referred to it as gold fever, is running rampant through North Carolina.
Like wildfire, the news of that discovery just took off. And across North Carolina, you could find small-time farmers, tradespeople, business owners, plantation owners just hitting out into the woods. And within a decade, there were mines all over this state.
By the 1820s, there was so much gold being found in North Carolina that the legislature appointed a survey team to come out and find out what was actually there.
University of North Carolina professors Denison Olmsted and Elisha Mitchell set off to discover the state's major gold deposits.
What the North Carolina Geological Survey found was that there were probably half a dozen areas of North Carolina that had gold.
From their research, they produced a map of North Carolina's gold-bearing regions.
It showed there's gold all over the place, particularly concentrated in the area between Rutherford County and Charlotte, and then a little bit up on the Virginia border.